last week against the Maryland Terrapins, throwing for 2 and running for 1. Let's take a look at our Toyota keys to the game. For East Carolina this afternoon, it's got to be constant pressure.
Boy, they better get after him. I don't know if Maryland got enough pressure on him. You got to rattle this kid's dandruff. You got to find out how tough he is. We know he's got skills. Look for the Pirates to come after him.
For Virginia, it is dictate the terms. Throw only when it's good for you.
Absolutely. When you got a mule in your backfield like Pierman, you hitch him up. This kid can take it away. They're also no longer one-dimensional. They held the clock forever against the Terrapins. They squeezed the life out of the clock.
35 minutes indeed for the Virginia Cavaliers. Well, it's game face only beyond this point. Virginia and East Carolina for only the 3rd time in their history. And 27, it's a 40-yard punt. There's no return. East Carolina has the ball and the lead, 3-0. Back after this word from your local ACC station.
To a career.
I mean, they were really in their face. There were a lot of things said while they were over here on the sideline.
Last 3 possessions, 2 interceptions, and 3 downs and out with a punt. For Pierman. Pierman turns the corner, has the first down, and he's got more. A foot race down the sideline. Nobody will catch him. Touchdown, Cedric Pierman. An 80-yard touchdown. Now, before we get too excited, East Carolina may ask whether or not he stepped out of bounds at about the 35-yard line. But right now, it's an 80-yard score for the Cavaliers, who changed the complexion of this game with 1 play.
Yeah, well, when in doubt, put the ball in Pierman's belly. See, this takes all of the risk out of it because he is a flat-out baller. He hit on the sideline. If he keeps it in, this will count. It looks like it will.
Yep, there's going to be no review because the kicker's lining up, and the kick is up by Yannick Reiering, and it is good. Cedric Pierman, 80 yards, electrifies the Scott Stadium crowd, and what a difference 1 play makes as the Cavman brings the Cavs out, and finally, Mark Verica finds Cedric Pierman on the pitch, and he goes all the way for the score.
Can do it.
Today's game is brought to you in part by Allstate. We welcome you to Charlottesville, Virginia, Scott Stadium. Steve Martin, Rick Doc Walker, Mike Hogwood here. The Virginia Cavaliers leading 7-6. East Carolina with the football. Patrick Pinkney upfield. Harris completed the 43. Shakes 1 tackle. He Dowling misses, and now he gets Cavaliers who have the ball at their own 40. Here's Pierman dancing outside, has the first down and more. It'll be a foot race with 5 Pirates in tow, and nobody's going to get him. Touchdown, Virginia. 1 run of 79. This one is 60 yards for Cedric Pierman.
No one ever accused Cedric for not being greedy when it comes to trying to chalk up some yards. That was stealing there. Now you're going to see what bad angles do. Good blocking, but bad angles, and you see it right there. When you get inside and you get below where the pursuit angle is, this time Eskridge, he is done. He was dead man walking.
Reiering for the point after, out of the hold of Scott Dakey, actually. Here comes the kick, and it is good. Cedric Pierman with 2 scores, and both are big, big yards. Took him 9 seconds for the touchdown as he headed downfield from 60 yards out. It's 3 on the ground and another 2 through the air. And that's our Ruby Tuesday Play of the Week.
How about 28 unanswered points on the part of the Virginia Cavaliers? 2nd week in a row that they've really gotten cranked up on offense. Mike Hogwood with you at halftime now, and the Cavaliers, 2nd week in a row, have really looked good after coming off that win over Maryland last week against a very good East Carolina team that took a 6-0 lead after a couple of Virginia turnovers. But the difference in this game has been Cedric Pierman, the running back, who is back. He is healthy now. He had 2 huge runs in that first half. Over 170 yards rushing. And look at the blocking up front. And he really danced along the sidelines, did a great job of staying in bounds. And that was the big plays, really, that got the Virginia offense going, but because for those plays, the Virginia offense really had its head down over here after a couple of turnovers. And it was a really bright spot for Cedric Pearman to get those runs. Let's take a look now at the Advance Auto Parts Road to Tampa Bay. The interesting thing is there are no conference games today. Wake Forest won on Thursday night against Clemson. Clemson now has 2 losses. Wake unbeaten in the Atlantic Division. Over in the Coastal Division, Virginia Tech is the only unbeaten team. But there's a long, long way to go before we get to that championship game the first weekend in December in Tampa. You see all the teams with 1 loss. Miami with 2 losses already here in conference play. Halftime here at Scott Stadium in Charlottesville. The band's happy. The Cavs are up 28-6.
Meet Ruby Tuesday.
Virginia 28, East Carolina 6, second half when we come back to Charlottesville, Virginia. Scott Dakey is the holder. And it's going to be a pass.
Got it.
Tight end touchdown on the fake field goal. Scott Dakey.
Well, that's checkmate. That is outstanding.
They had sent Robert Randolph out to kick the field goal. But Dakey, who is the backup quarterback, once he received the snap, threw it to the end zone to the tight end, Phillips, for the score.
And the best thing about this, no penalty. They did it just right, just how they worked on it in practice. And smoked the Pirates on that one.
Now Randolph will kick the point after, and it is good. Robert Randolph adds the point after with 7:07 left to go. There's the fake. Dakey for 6 to Phillips. Trickery puts Virginia up by 15 at Charlottesville. Puts it up inside the 20. That's a good punt. Fair catch called for at the 18.
You know, the UVA football team could at least give the UVA basketball team some work. Be their scout team in basketball. They have 15 people over 6'6", 6'7".
They do. They get so that's a typical of Al Groh. He likes big linemen and big tight ends, and goes out and gets them. And right now the Virginia Cavaliers are 3 minutes and 8 seconds away from being 3-3. This is 128 yards. And a pass downfield intended for Devon Drew, averaged by Byron Glasgow.
Yeah, they took Drew out of this too. They never were able to get a package going for Drew. He had one. He dropped one early on. But as Coach Holtz, keep the crew positive. Get a couple people back, and then your goals are still in front of you. And that is, to win the conference.
No, you went 2-2 in your non-conference.
Tomorrow and start from scratch and try to do it all over again.
All right, I'll let you into the locker room.
Thank you, sir.
Great game today. Steve?
Thank you very much, Mike Hogwood, and of course Cedric Pearman, one of our principal financial players of the game, along with Dwayne Harris. Both put up some big numbers today.
We've been working really hard.
All right, I know you got to get to the locker room. We'll let you go. Boy, some of the stars of the game, and this was a great win for Virginia.
It certainly was, Mike, as the Cavaliers now even up their schedule at 3-3, and now look ahead to conference.